Hi, Dr. Rowe here, and today we're talking about building rapport in teletherapy. I'm an integrative and pediatric mental health expert who's on a mission to change the way we view and treat children's mental health. If you're new to my channel, hit subscribe and turn on your notifications so you get my videos every week. Let's dive in. So why is building rapport so important in psychotherapy and really extra important, I feel like, in teletherapy when we have the distance between us? Well, building rapport means that we are connecting, and that rapport that a therapist builds with a client is the foundation of a therapeutic relationship. And without that connection, how is change going to happen? It's a lot less likely to happen. We have to really like the people, respect the people that we're working with. And therapists know this, and I think parents know this. And I always tell my parents who try to stay with a therapist who isn't connecting with them, it's okay to switch. It's like anything else in life. You can have an awesome person, but it may not be the right connection, which is really therapeutic rapport. So what are some ways to build therapeutic rapport? One of the most important ways to actually build rapport is to listen. So we go to therapists because they're really good listeners. Another way to build rapport therapeutically is verbal engagement. We know through research that the more a client talks and the more verbal exchanges that occur in a therapy session, the greater the likelihood is of change. And isn't that what therapy is about? Is change. So lots of communication, and kids communicate in different ways. So even though we want our kids to express our feelings, they show their feelings through play if you're doing play therapy or expressive arts, and that's equally as important. Another way to build rapport, of course, is to validate the feelings that your clients have. So a lot of times people rattle around in their own thoughts, and when they come to a therapist, they may feel like something's really wrong with them. And one of the best things that I get to do all the time is really to validate their experiences, their feelings, and the sensations that they have. And it's just such an important part of therapy, is to let somebody know, hey, what you're feeling is normal. You know, you lost your pet and you're really stuck and upset, and that's normal. And that's why you're here. And we're going to work on changing that. And that's really important. Another big rapport builder is psychoeducation. So I talk about psychoeducation all the time, and people come to me from all over the world. And they're often telling me I'm one of the first people to really explain things to them. So how do I do that? So I always use neuroscience. I always talk about the brain. And when we can help our clients understand what is physiologically happening to them, what's the physiology of stress? What's the physiology of anxiety? These are big things that people need to understand so they can feel better about themselves. And I have a YouTube video on the physiology of stress, and I would encourage you to watch that yourself or have your clients watch it, because psychoeducation is incredibly important, and it really is a validator of what their experiences are. And when clients understand their issues, they're just much more likely to make changes. Another rapport builder is connecting through sensations. So I spend a lot of time with the kids and parents that I work with, helping them to understand those alert signals that their body is telling them so that they can look for those red flags, open up their toolkit, and start using tools to help with anxiety, depression, focus issues, whatever the main issue is. So in the teletherapy toolkit, we talk a lot about our somatic responses, what our body is telling us, because we want people to really understand that connection. And that is absolutely a rapport builder that therapists can do, but also parents can cue their kids about, wow, you're feeling a tummy ache. The last time you felt a tummy ache, you got into a big fight with your sister. Did something else happen? And then help them to understand and make those connections and learn how to cope with uncomfortable feelings. One of my favorite rapport builders is using humor, right? So sometimes a good old laugh, and it's clinically proven in research, really helps people to feel at ease. And certainly when you're establishing rapport with your client, if it's your nature to be a little funny, everybody loves a little humor in a session, whether you share an analogy that's got a funny ending to it, or you're really good at a joke, or you can help a client to kind of look at something they said or did and with a little humor. It is a wonderful rapport builder, and laughter helps our nervous system, and that's why it builds connection. Another rapport builder is when we mirror the speech and phrasing of our clients. This works incredibly well with kids that are stuck and really aren't good communicators. If we can mirror what they're saying as well as some of their body language, it helps to put people at ease and builds that rapport. And those little steps that you make around mirroring can really go a long way in establishing that therapeutic relationship. A rapport builder that we often don't directly talk about is offering value and direction. So our job as therapists is to be a listener and a guider, but in that guidance, we need to really help clients paint the picture, understand what treatment looks like, and then give them thoughts and suggestions on next most actionable steps they can take. So for example, if somebody's showing physical signs of stress or emotional issues, which is pretty much most of the time, it's at least 70% of the time in mental health, one of my biggest value tips is to get a really thorough set of lab work with a functional physician. So what's my Dr. Rowe? No, it's over focusing on engagement activities. So as much as we love to do those fun games to get kids connected to us and teens too, you can't spend your whole time in teletherapy doing that. And as we've shifted into teletherapy in the time of pandemic, some people don't feel like they have a toolkit. And that's why I wrote the Teletherapy Toolkit to give you therapeutic activities. And you really don't want to over focus on engagement activities, or you're just not going to help your client meet your therapeutic goals. My Dr. Rowe Go is to really encourage a child to find their voice and share what is going on with their thoughts and sensations with their therapist. Remember, if you or a child you care about is struggling, it's going to be okay. I am here to show you how to help kids and teens feel good about themselves, feel calm and alert. Catch you on the next episode, and don't forget to subscribe to the Dr. Roseann channel, where we talk about natural and effective ways to reduce and reverse mental health.